Alright guys, we're going to be taking a look at who is the better striker, Zekrom or Zacian. And before we get started with the video, let me know who you think is the better striker, Zacian or Zekrom. But if you prefer Zekrom, then let me know. But anyways, let's just get right into it. So, when we took a look at Zekrom's build, he is able to get one free attack at the start of battle, and that's entry freebie. And he also has a sync move freebie, I think it's called. So basically he gets one free attack at the start of battle, and then after your sync move you get another free attack, but the sync move one is going to be there every single time, so every time you sync move you're going to be able to get one free attack. So after your sync move, that's going to be one, so the sync move is going to be damage right there, and then you're going to get the free attack. So let's say you use Bull Strike, that's going to be another attack right there. And then after that free attack, you're going to be getting, you're going to be using another attack, which is going to consume move gauge. So that's going to be 3 attacks back to back that Zekrom is going to be able to do, and they're going to be very strong attacks. So in terms of damage like that, Zekrom is honestly going to be super good. And like that free sync or that free attack is going to happen every time you sync move. And when you're going up against Pokemon that you're super effective against, Zekrom is just going to be insane. Because with this trainer move, it's going to be an added multiplier on top of the type effective boost that you're already going to get. And the damage is going to go skyrocketing for Zekrom, and it's going to be insane. And when you're not type effective, when you're just hitting like neutral damage, Zekrom is almost hitting for 4,000 damage. As you can see over here, like the amount of damage Zekrom is able to do is very good. And since he's 6-star in this video, he is going to have the AoE sync move. But as you can see, like after the first sync move, he is doing 5,000 damage with a crit, without electric terrain. So, like the damage that this guy is going to be able to do, even without super effective and his full trainer move abilities, he is going to be hitting consistent. And that's where he's going to be shining a little bit more over Zacian, just because he's going to be consistent. And by the time they sync move, Zekrom is going to be having like, he's going to be on his second sync move or something like that. And he's just going to be outperforming on damage than Zacian. Because by the time they have their sync move, yeah, you're probably going to be on your second sync move or third sync move with Zacian as well. So, but the thing is with Zacian, he only gets that buff when they get when the enemy has their sync move. And when you're going to the next HP gauge, they're not going to have their sync move buff. So then Zacian is going to be losing out on some damage as well until they get their sync move buff. But because of how much you're able to spam Behemoth Blade, because with Zacian, he has move gauge boosts on his moveset, and with how much move gauge refreshes he has on his grid, like you're gonna be spamming Behemoth Blade like crazy. So like yeah, he might not be doing as much damage in one move as Zekrom, but he's gonna be doing more attacks than Zekrom. So that sort of makes up for it. So like you might even clear out 1 HP gauge, but before the enemy is able to sync move. So that's the thing. Zacian isn't going to be consistent when it comes to damage. Like sometimes you are going to be able to get the enemy to sync move, and then you're going to have the buff, and then Zacian's damage is going to be very high. And then you knock out the Pokemon, and then you don't have that sync move buff anymore. So then they change the HP gauge if you are in the Legendary Arena, and then your damage is just going to drop again until they sync move. So in terms of like consistency, honestly, I'm gonna be leaning towards Zekrom, just because when it comes to battling and damage, I prefer consistency, and Zacian isn't fully consistent. So that's a little bit of a downside with Zacian. If you're looking for consistency, then Zekrom is going to be the better option. But one thing they both have in common is they're both situational. Like I said, with Zekrom, his trainer move, he's going to be getting a much bigger buff when you're going up against a type effective Pokemon, because like he's already going to have the type effective boost. So like if we're going up against a water type and then they're weak against electric type, Bull Strike is going to be insanely strong because of the multiplier that you're getting from being super effective. Plus with the trainer move, you're going to be getting another multiplier on top of the super effective. So the amount of damage that you're going to be able to do is insane. So in like those kind of battles, Zekrom is going to be performing much better than Zacian. Now, even when Zacian is super effective, he's still going to be hitting very hard, but he's not going to be having the multipliers that Zekrom has. Because Zekrom, he has Electric Terrain, so his damage is already going to be much higher with Electric Terrain. And then Zekrom also has his training move, which also boosts the multiplier for being super effective. So, like, right out of the gate, Zekrom is going to be much better in that sense. But you could argue that Zacian is probably going to be better in the Legend Arena. Just because, like, when they do have the 6-move buff, like I said, Zacian is going to be getting a nice increase to his damage. But, like I said again, like, it's not going to be consistent. So that's going to be the only downside with that. With Zekrom being like more consistent with the damage, by the time you get to like your 3rd sync move, 4th sync move, the damage is just going to continuously go up. But Zacian, like, you might have his damage be insanely high, and then after their sync move buff goes away, it's just going to drop right again. So that's going to be the only thing. But the one thing I'll give Zacian though is how consistent his move gauge refills are. Just because of how high the move gauge, like how many move gauge refresh tiles he has on his grid, like you're honestly getting like almost full move gauge after every attack you do. And especially if you have Swan on the team or Pokemon on the team with Zacian that are very fast, like your move gauge is just gonna fly through the roof. Like you're always gonna be at half move gauge or almost at full move gauge. And like it's just gonna be great. And in this clip right here, actually, this perfect timing. We can see Zekrom just destroy when he's super effective. So, like, we use our training move over here, and then we see his first attack when he's at +6 attack, like right there, first attack, 12,000 damage. Like, who does that on the first attack when they enter the battle? And then his second move when he doesn't have the training move buff, he did 7,000 damage, and then on the side Pokemon, 8,000 damage. Like it's insane on how much damage this guy can do. And then we also see how Zacian performs when he is super effective as well. But Zacian is not going to be hitting as hard as Zekrom, just because Zekrom's like passive is just so good when it comes to, or his training move is so good with the multipliers. And then with the Bolt Strike being so high in damage, like it is just so good. And then of course we also got to take note that Zacian's damage isn't going to be nearly as close as well, just because my Zacian isn't 6 stars, so his damage is going to be much lower, of course. But one thing to take note, Zacian's physical attack is going to be higher than Zekrom when you get it maxed out. But we are just taking a look at how like usable they are in terms of like a striker entirely, not on actual like stats. Like, even though I'm talking about like how hard Zekrom is hitting, but like realistically, even when Zacian is maxed out, like Zekrom is most likely is going to be hitting harder than Zacian, just because of all the multipliers that this guy has. He has electric terrain. He has his training move, which is giving him more of a boost when you're going up against super effective Pokemon. Plus, he has 2 effect moves. He has not effect moves. He has Outrage, which is a Dragon type, and he has Bolt Strike. So he has more coverage. So you have more of a chance of going up against Pokemon that you're super effective against. So you're going to be able to do a lot of damage in that case. Compared to Zacian, where, oh wait, no, sorry, my bad. I totally forgot that Zacian has Play Rough. But Play Rough is not nearly as strong as Outrage. So that's going to be the only thing. But still, like I said, with the multipliers that Zekrom has, it's going to put him above Zacian, of course, because on his grid, Zacian doesn't even have any multipliers. He does have, like, Behemoth Blade, like, power-ups, and then he has player up power-ups, but they're not nearly as good as having multipliers, and that's always going to be the thing, because those multipliers have a percentage base, and with the power-ups, like, they have a flat number. So, and like I said before in my other videos, having percentage base is going to be much better than having a flat number, because the damage with percentages is always going to be higher. But as you can see right here, like, Zacian is no slouch though. When you're going up against Pokemon that you're super effective against, he's still going to be very good. But like I said earlier in the video though, I'm looking for consistency, and Zekrom does hold more consistency than Zacian. But you can take what you will. Personally, I feel Zekrom is much better than Zacian. Don't get me wrong, Zacian is still very good. There's no denying, Zacian is still very good of a Pokemon. But in terms of consistency and damage, like Zekrom, the amount of damage this guy is able to do, like, right out of the gate, he is just insane. Especially when you're going up against super effective Pokemon. Like I said, you can take what you will. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you feel is better? Personally, like I said, I feel Zekrom is much better. But no matter how you put it, if you have both of them, you're gonna be in you're gonna have a great account anyways, because they're both good. Zacian is very good in the Legend Arena. Zekrom is very good in short events. So if you have both of them, then you're good to go. But let me know who you prefer, which one you think is better. And then we can go from there. I cannot wait to see who is going to be the next strongest Pokemon in the months to come, because we know the 1.5 year mark is coming, but I guess we'll find out. But anyways, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.